Now look at that. Some respect from the youngster.
When it's cold outside, woo, who are you holding? Wait until tonight, girl. If you think you're alone. Nah, let me chill with you. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. But seriously, I hope everyone's safe on the East Coast, given the snowstorm. Make sure, everyone's fine. No one's outside getting destroyed. But if you can enjoy the snow, enjoy it. It looks beautiful outside. But let's get to this Immanuel Quickley video. Just want to show this clip. My son, Immanuel Quickley, giving daps and respects to Lil Williams, one of his idols. Then he proceeds to poke out his chest a little bit and put up his shoulders to, make it known he ain't no punk. But salute to Immanuel Quickley for that. That was a beautiful moment. IQ starting to make waves in the NBA, giving this superlative play as a combo guard off the bench, having great games, such as the game against the Blazers, turning on yesterday against the Clippers on the second half, the two Cleveland games, and even the Boston game. Whether it be at that high pick where he comes around and is able to trap the recovering defender and throw that surprising floater as the help defense is unsure whether he's going to continue to drive to the basket and is kind of in a state of shock, or whether it's the three at the top of the key off the wing, or his innate ability to draw fouls, where he has a current free throw draw rate of 28.6%, which is above the league average at 25.1%, which is no fluke given his 46% average in college for the 2 years he was at Kentucky, which actually puts him above some elite players such as Donovan Mitchell, who's averaging a 22.3% free throw rate, even though it's still below annoying guards like Trae Young, who's averaging like 59%. And y'all know how Trae Young gets with that stupid come around the pick and jump into his man and flail, and all the stupid little pretty boy hair goes all the way here and there, and they call those stupid fouls for him. But Quickley got time, don't worry about it. For the season, IQ's averaging 12.4 points a game, 41% from the field, 36.5% from three, on 4.4 attempts a game and 2.5 assists a game. But for the past 10 games, he's averaging 17 points, 41.1% from three, and 3.1 assists a game. Now everybody wants to anoint IQ as the steal of the draft, giving us a unique, aggressive play. His floaters, his knack for hitting down these big shots coming off the bench. Yeah, Tyronn Lue called him a special talent, while Paul George said that he was a fearless player with a crazy ability to hit floaters. Yeah, Dame Lillard, one of my favorite players, chiming up talking about all the Knicks form was overrated at the time. All the way to going to IQ on the foul line in a close game, as IQ had 31 points and almost brought us back to win that game. And Dame Lillard, look, you're one of my favorite players of all time. I love watching you, Dame time, but bro, son, Steph Curry and the Lakers be eating your food all the time, bro. They always mollywopping you. You need to save all that energy for those guys, man. Don't worry about the Knicks are doing, man. You're looking kind of emaciated on the block, big bro. I'm just saying, man. You even had CBS take back their D+ grade on our draft class this year to switch it around with the A, with that whole Simpsons Homer meme where he goes into the grass and reappears with a different shirt. Down to some of the more interesting aspects of his game. Just to give you an idea of his floater game, he takes about 5.4 of his shots at 0 to 3 feet from the rim, shooting 55.6%, while 25% of his shots come from 3 to 10 feet from the basket, where he's shooting around 47.6% from the field so far. And we know the majority of those shots are those floaters. So again, that just speaks to, his prowess as a rookie and his innate ability to just hit these floaters at such a high clip, or relatively respectful clip. And like I mentioned before, another part of his repertoire, or the weapons that he has at his disposals, when he comes around that pick, whether it be the double screen up top or the single screen by Mitch or Obi, whoever it may be, where he has this ability to trap the defender who's recovering onto his hip and kind of guide them as he's getting to the basket and getting space and leverage to hit that floater. That's something that a lot of guards coming to the NBA, they don't learn that in high school or college, a good amount of them. And so when we talk about several parts or several components of his skill play at the guard level, that's a high-level veteran move to trap the defender, drive to the basket, use as leverage, and throw up the floater, throw up the alley, or kick it out to somebody open on the perimeter. And according to Synergy, Immanuel Quickley ranks in the 82nd percentile for the pick-and-roll ball handler role, going 32 for 75, which equates to a 42.7% efficiency from that role. All this for a rookie. Another weapon of his seems to be at the top of the key or near the wings, where he gets a little stutter of a step to act as if he's going to shoot and can drive to the basket and create the floater or kick it out, the dribble drive pass out to someone on the perimeter, or even throw up the alley. He has a repertoire of moves that, as a combo guard and a rookie, is fairly advanced and veteran-like. As they say, the kid just has moxie. In regards to his three-point shooting, he's taking 44% of his shots from the three-point line, hitting 36.5% of them. He's only hitting 33% from the corner three, although he's only shooting about 8% of his total shots from that area. And his offensive presence is definitely felt, as the offensive rating climbs from 106.1 to 111.2 when Immanuel Quickley's on the court. Now, there are some kinks that he has to work on. And given, look, he is a rookie, so I'm not expecting him to be this world beater of improvement by the next couple of games. He has his whole rookie season and a few more years after that. There are some things that he has to work on. Now, he's an attacking combo guard who looks to attack first, sometimes attack second, and then maybe pass third. He's only averaging 2.5 assists a game and 0.1 secondary assists a game, while RJ Barrett is averaging 3.3 assists and 0.4 secondary assists a game. And the Clippers game ain't the only game where he's looked off open players such as Obi or other players on the perimeter after he took that dribble drive, or whether he came around the pick and was looking for the floater. The NBA is going to adapt and adjust and know that, hey, this kid likes to throw those early floaters off of the pick. So teams are going to maybe play up a little bit more closer. The help defense is going to be more aggressive, possibly even stop him from throwing that alley or the pass to the guy that'll be open down low. So Quickley is going to have to become a better facilitator and decision maker off the dribble. He's also going to have to not fall into the trap of hero ball sometimes, where you see him take these deep threes or really bad shots early in the shot clock, where again it's just not the smartest decision or the best shot on the floor. Sometimes he tries to shoot himself out of funks versus going for the easier shots by taking these deep threes. You saw in the Clippers game around 6:33 in the fourth quarter where Kawhi Leonard was guarding him, where he took that ill-advised deep three as the Knicks were coming back. And I believe it was Marcus Morris on the next possession who scored after the miss, and that's kind of where the game kind of got out of hand. And by the way, it's a huge honor to have Kawhi Leonard guard you up in the waning minutes of a relatively close game, the fourth quarter. So take it for what you will, but hey, kudos to Immanuel Quickley for putting the league on notice. But in those situations, you don't have to play hero ball. Let the game come to you. And again, he's a rookie. He's probably going to learn this. I'm not killing the kid for it, but those are things that he's going to have to learn. I'm pretty sure Tibbs is telling that and reiterating that to him every day. Hey, let the game come to you. He also seems to struggle with certain guards who kind of play him straight up, the more nimbler, quicker ones who can shift their feet around, or the wings who basically can shift their feet around and cover space on him. And sometimes he also struggles when he doesn't have that pick, right? When he can't really get that shot off the dribble, doesn't really have space. We've seen it against Indiana with Malcolm Brogdon at times. We've seen it in the Denver game. We've seen it in both games against the Jazz with Mike Conley kind of ate his food for both the games. And that's where having an actual point guard would probably help Quickley the best, where in those situations he can play a little bit more off ball, work on his corner three-point shooting, hit it from the wing, also attack from the wing, because again he has that quick first step. Once he gets the ball, he also has that nice little head fake or whole body fake where he kind of catch you. So again, having an actual point guard would definitely help Quickley in those situations. Also working on a nice little crossover to create some space. Once he has those type of guards on him, he doesn't have a pick at his disposal at that time within the shot clock. A nice little mid-range, you definitely work on that because again, the league will adapt to those floaters. He needs a nice little stop, change of pace shot to kind of offset that and keep that floater game a little bit fresh. And another Cardinal sin, the Hall of Famer, great Knick legend Walt Clyde Frazier, leaves his feet a lot when he's looking to make a pass. Again, telegraphing passes and then leaving your feet to make them, not a good decision. He also picks up his dribble a lot. When he can't create space, he'll pick it up almost like in a panic mode. Then he'll turn around and look for someone to come around and get the ball. In situations, you gotta keep your dribble up. Whether you're a combo guard, whether you're a point guard, shooting guard, as Walt Clyde Frazier says, keep your dribble up. And at 6'3", 190, look, his defense just leaves a lot to be desired. Now, as a smaller guard with that lack of weight and size, He's going to have a hard time in the NBA. Obviously, the weight gaining and the muscle building programs, that stuff comes in the offseason, so we're going to have to wait for that. But there are things that he can do as a defender now. Use his hips and his body to push players in the post out of advantageous positions. Obviously, I'm talking about other shooting guards or guards that he matches up onto. He can also do a better job of denying the ball, fronting the ball, being pesky, more pesky with his hands. Too many times you've seen it where guys are just basically buy him straight to the basket. Whether it's Jordan Clarkson, that Jazz game, pulls him up with his Oladipo just basically driving straight on him. Brogdon did as well. So Quickley has some things that, even though, yes, the strength and the power, to see how that develops, that will have to come to summer because you're not going to be power playing during the season. But there are things that he can do even now as more of a skinnier, but still a pesky defender that he can work on. Right now, teams have an offensive rating of 108.7 when he's on the court versus a rating of 111.9 when he's on the court, which is why Tom Thibodeau probably prefers Elfrid Payton. But hold up. Even that is a misnomer with Elfrid Payton, because when Elfrid Payton, when he's off the court, teams have an offensive rating of 108.6 versus when he's on the court, those teams have an offensive rating of 110.5. Tibbs doesn't necessarily go with a prototypical point guard. We've seen in the past with guys like Jimmy Butler and Kirk Heinrich, and its usage of point guard agnostic sets such as a triangle or the horns play, even the Spain pick and roll, which we've seen him use, the double screen up top where the ball handler will come around the two screens and the second guy will set the screen for that ball handler's original guy and he'll cut to the basket. Many of those sets, you don't necessarily need a high-level point guard. You just really need a guard who can kind of slash, move on the ball, and score and pass. In many of those sets, you need a knockdown shooter to hit open shots, whether it be all-ball movement on one side or movement predicated off of the guard who's driving and using those picks and then dishing out to said shooter over on the wing. And granted, look, RJ Barrett has had some really efficient games lately in the past 9 to 10 games, but I'm not confusing him with Michael Redd yet. So I can kind of understand Tom Thibodeau's hesitancy with putting IQ as a starting guard, given the fact that that ball's probably not going to move around adequately to other players. However, I will say this, there probably is a way to have IQ start and be impactful, because if he can play a little bit more off the ball and say have a guy like RJ Barrett, who I believe they're making or trying to make a secondary playmaker, play a little bit more on the ball, get out to IQ and have him hit those shots open in the corner, on the perimeter, on the wings, wherever it may be on the outside as an off-ball shooter, a lot more teams will move away from that zone and start to go into man looks, which I think is more advantageous for Tom Thibodeau. And as we've seen, he's been fairly creative with some of his sets. I know it doesn't come out within the stats, but you've seen him run the Spain pick and roll. You've seen him run the horn sets. You've seen him run triangle, more so against zones and whatnot. You've seen him run the double screens up top with Mitch then cutting down to the basket and having the option open on the perimeter, and seen IQ hit those floaters. And one more point on this point guard discussion. For all those that saying that IQ is a point guard, off of what Clyde Frazier said and Greg Anthony and all these people that all of a sudden, not Clyde Frazier and Greg Anthony, but all these people in the media that all of a sudden want to pay attention to the Knicks now that there's something buzzing. Tell me this, if you had the opportunity to draft a Jalen Suggs, star guard of Gonzaga, you're not going to draft him because you think you have the point guard of the future in IQ? And look, I got all the love in the world for Walt Clyde Frazier. When I heard that freaking Bird, Man Face, and Nick Wright and Chris Carter try to talk trash on him, I wanted to reach through the screen and just yoke him up real quick, like watch him off about Walt Clyde Frazier. But in this instance, Walt Clyde Frazier might be conflating scoring with being an overall point guard. Look, Walt Clyde Frazier, Hall of Fame, Knick legend. I'm not sitting here trying to challenge any of his perspectives, but I just think that people are falling under the euphoria of Quickley's impact coming off the bench and saying, well, he's just this impactful young scorer and he should just be the point guard. It's like, whoa, you know how things work. You know about complementary play. You know how certain sets look better than the other. Come on, this guy, at least for right now, he's just more so of a combo guard who's flashing. But, you know, he's not looking to get other people involved to a fault. And again, that's instruction probably from Tom Thibodeau to go out there and attack. And again, Tom Thibodeau utilizes these combo guards in his lineup. Now, to say where they could start, I have no problem with that. But to sit here and say he's a point guard and have that possibly stop us from getting a guy like Jalen Suggs because we think we have the point guard in the future, I'm not pulling it, bro. I'm not pulling it. But salute to Clyde Frazier, man. That's my guy, man. He had that ill suit the other game. Woo! That's my guy, man. Looking like straight up Nicky Barnes out there with that fur, man. Salute. That's that bull. Clyde Frazier, man. But I don't know. I beg to differ with that opinion that Quickley right now is a so-called point guard. To me, right now, IQ is a combo guard, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And be happy that you have a guy in Tom Thibodeau who utilizes combo guards to a high degree of usage and impact on the floor. So it is what it is, man. But hey, if Jalen Suggs is available, yeah, buddy. Guys, that's the video. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes and all that stuff, man. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the support and the watch-alongs. Guys, stay tuned for more Knicks content. And also look out for the watch-along that will be happening tonight. Knicks versus Chicago Bulls. We'll be seeing Zach LaVine, a potential Knick player, but right now a target, someone that the team is keeping tabs on. I don't know what's going to go through, but he's definitely an exciting player to watch. So guys, please like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Leave your comments in the video when it's all said and done. Peace, salute, God bless. We out.